Here we go with another video. This video is going to be about servicing my anchor. This is a Spade anchor, and when I mean service it, what I mean is I need to disassemble it and touch up any paint. Actually, the paint looks pretty excellent. There are some minor imperfections in the paint, usually right around the shackle and the end here. This is an aluminum anchor, so we try to keep it looking halfway decent. And there's some wear down here. So what we need to do is we need to remove this bolt, and then the shank will come out, and then we can clean and sand and do whatever we need to do to the shank and the plow end here. So, and we need to take the shackle off as well. This shackle is actually what holds the anchor on the boat. And what else? The reason I went with a Spade, there are a lot of modern anchors that are similar, like the Ronca and Ultra. The other anchors, well, first off, this one has all of the weight in lead poured into the bottom here of the anchor. It's all filled with lead, so the anchor is always going to fall pointy side down, and just the shape of it, as you can see the way it's laying, if the anchor turns, it's actually going to be kind of a screw. It's going to actually dig itself deeper into the ocean bottom instead of popping out like most anchors. But what sets this apart from other modern anchors is usually welded right here. So all of the force from anchoring is going to be on this joint here. This one, the top part comes all the way down to the bottom here. So all of the force is lateral on the anchor as it's pulling. So all the force is inside the anchor on the lead. So you could actually take this bolt out and the anchor would still perform perfectly. So, because all the force is going this way. So, and if you carried a spare, you can disassemble this and leave it in your locker and have a spare without taking up a lot of space. So, and this was the original style anchor. The other ones are actually knockoffs of this. I believe there have been lawsuits on it, but that's the reason I went with the Spade. Spade is not inexpensive, but to me it's worth it just for the safety of the boat and safety of the crew. So, as you can see, I have painted it. There is some imperfections in the paint, but the ocean bottom doesn't really care. So I just want to keep it looking halfway decent. The aluminum probably doesn't need it, but I'd like the anchor looking halfway decent. So that's going to be the project. I will take this apart and show you the process. And then the paint, I've tried every type of high-tech paint, 2 parts and everything. It doesn't seem to really work in the ocean bottom. It always comes up. So I just use Interlux, just regular topside paint, and it works fine. I mean, this is several years old. I've touched it up a couple times, so it works perfectly fine. And if it comes up, it's easy to touch up. Single part paint. So, okay, that's it for this intro. So let me get the anchor positioned, and I'll show you taking the shank apart. Okay, so I'm going to take this nut off of this nut and bolt here, and then I'll pull the shank out of the fluke. So then we can inspect it, clean it, and then put it back together. So I'll use my impact. And then I will use a hammer to take the bolt out. I'm not sure why there's a plastic washer on there, but there's always been one, so I just keep putting it back. And take the bolt out. And a lot of times this is actually kind of hard to get out because mud gets in there, because we have a lot of mud around here. So sometimes the shank has a lot of trouble coming out of the fluke. So let's see what I can do here. there we are. See, we're out. And you see all the dirt that gets in there from the mud. So if anyone thinks that this is going to come apart when you're using it, you saw how hard it was to come apart on my bench here. And you can see how much, instead of a weld on the other anchors, you could see how much surface area is pushing the anchor. So it's dramatically, I think it's dramatically better than just a weld here on the surface of the fluke. So let's get this cleaned up and put back together. And then if needed, I will touch it up. I will inspect it. If it needs paint, I'll clean it and paint it. If not, I'm going to put it back together. Okay, now that we have it disassembled, I do have some sandpaper here. And I will just go over any areas that need to be touched up. I'm not going to paint the whole thing. So on the back here, I do have a couple spots, and I just want to get to clean metal and kind of feather into the old paint. I'm not being really too particular because it's underwater. No one's going to see it. And as long as it looks good from 15 feet away, I'm happy. So that's all I'm going to be doing. A couple more right here. Okay, so let's go inspect the rest of it. And the end is always going to be pretty bad, so I'll sand all this and paint this up. And some like right here. And some right here. So let's do that. Okay, so this part is actually done. So the next part is going to be, I'm going to wipe it down with some acetone and touch it up with some bright side interlocks that I had laying around. So okay, so we got the fluke here. So let's give it a wipe down with some acetone. I'll wipe down the whole thing, so. And I honestly don't care if I contaminate some of the paint or the areas I'm going to paint, because honestly it'll stick for a year and then I'll do it again next year. You have to do it anyways. Okay, now as part of this no effort job, I'm going to actually touch up the paint. This is the paint I'm using, Seattle Gray, bright side number 4205, and the apparently Interlux doesn't make bright side anymore. It's top black or something like that. So that's the new version. This is an old can, but it still works. So, and this stuff's expensive, so I'm gonna keep using it until I can't. So let's get to it. Nothing too fancy, just touch it up. We're not going to a car show or a boat show, so case hanging now, so I will touch up anything that I missed. pretty good. Okay, so we're going to touch the shank up. So let's check this. Anything I missed? Welcome back. We're going to finish up the anchor project today. So all the paint has dried. It looks really good. Again, I'm just trying to make it look presentable, not trying to restore it because it sits on the bottom of the ocean. So let's show what it takes to go back together. Again, you have the shank and the fluke. They go together like this. And that's pretty much it. So then we just need to put the locking bolt in. And before I do that, I'm going to clean these. And you've seen me do it before using citric acid, so I'm going to do the same thing. So I got to clean this out a little. And it does have some hardware on it, so let's get some mud and stuff on it, so let's clean that off. And there are some nylon washers to help keep the paint from chipping. So let's give this a little bath. So I'm going to get some hot water in here. Again, I have my coffee maker over there, so I'm just going to steal some hot water out of there. Put a little citric acid in. Probably way too much. I don't know, it's a real tiny amount. You don't need a lot. That's probably even too much, but citric acid is cheap. So be back in 1 second. So we're just going to put all the stainless hardware in the citric acid bath. And screw it up, put the plastic in there too, the nylon. So we'll just let that sit. Let me cover that with something. And then once that's clean, we can put it back on the anchor. So right now it's a waiting game, and we'll be back once that's done. Okay, we're back. So we waited, I don't know, maybe half an hour or so for the hardware to steep in the citric acid. So here we are with the final product. I'll just pull the shackle out. Nice and clean. The water's still pretty hot. You can see how dirty the water is, so it's doing something. So let's shackle. Let's see here. So you have the hole here. It's going through the shank and the fluke. And so we'll put the stainless washer and nylon washer on, stick it through, and then on the other side do the same thing, nylon washer, stainless washer, and then the nylon nut. Okay, we're back, so let's put the nut on. That's actually a nylon nut. It shouldn't go on that easily, so I will get a new nylon nut. But for now, zip that down, and the anchor is done. Now let's put the shackles on. This is the shackle that holds the, there's a line on the boat that the anchor hangs from, so that's what this is, and this is what attaches to the anchor rod. So, okay, that brings us to the end of the video. So if anyone has any questions about what I did, why I did it, let me know in the comments, And if anyone has any comments about the anchor itself, I know anchoring is a big topic with people. And if you want to argue different anchors are better or whatever, knock yourself out, put those in the comments, and I will reply to all of them. And that's about it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate it. Thank you.